was that? That wasn't even English, I think. Okay. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making a video on how to get a full face foundation look for oily skin. They're all drugstore products, so it's extremely affordable. And I'm also doing a first impression at the same time with the 10-piece Kabuki Brush Set from Jessup. I got this for like 15 bucks, and that's honestly a really good price because maybe like one brush at Sigma is maybe like 18 to 30 something dollars. So this is very affordable. Let's just get started. First, you want to moisturize your skin, and right now I'm using this moisturizer. It is the Beauty Drops Vitamin E Moisturizer, and it's formulated for sensitive skin. It's a really good moisturizer. This was my mom's and I took it from her, but I think she got this at a grocery outlet, I want to say. So I like to use this, and I usually just put this in my dry areas, on the corner of my mouth, around my nose, on my nose, and then where I'll be applying concealer so that my concealer doesn't separate on my skin. And so I put a moisturizer right here. You might think that because you have oily skin, that you should be moisturizing your skin because you're super oily already, but that is not the case at all. You want to moisturize your skin. So a long time ago, I watched a video by Nicole Guerrero, and she was saying moisturize your skin a lot so that you can like trick your skin into not producing as much oil as it would, because when you apply your makeup and it does that separating on you, it's because your skin is trying to soak up as much moisture as it can. So when you apply foundation without moisturizing first, your pores are going to try and soak up as much moisture as it can. So it soaks up your foundation, and then you're left with like the separating, and it's just not really flawless anymore. With a clean face, moisturize your skin really well. Let's just get right into this tutorial. I feel like I've been talking forever, so I'm just gonna start off. So I use the L'Oreal True Match Foundation in the shade Nude Beige W3. L'Oreal True Match Foundation comes in a really wide variety of shades. There's 33 shades, so it is almost guaranteed that you are going to find your perfect shade. I like to shake it first. And I'm going to be using the rounded Kabuki brush from the 10-piece Jessup set. I know this will be pretty good too, and I've also heard that these brushes are really good Sigma dupe. I personally like rounded brushes for my foundation versus flat, so actually I'm going to use both. I'm going to use one on this side and then the other one on this side. I just kind of shake it on my finger, and then I just put it on my face. I'm going to look crazy for a sec until I blend it out. So now I'm going to take my rounded brush, and then I'm just going to blend this. I really, really like this brush. It's blending my foundation very nicely and very evenly. It's not soaking up a lot of product either, so I don't know if you can see just how airbrush and flawless that looks compared to my very red skin. So now I'm going to use a flat brush for this side. With the rounded brush, you could do circle motions, and it was easy to work with, but I feel like with this brush, it's harder to do those circle motions. It's easier to just do it like this, and I don't like that. But it does look nice. It is blending nicely, but I don't really like it. So I'm just gonna use the rounded one for the rest of the face. So I don't use a concealer. This foundation doubles up really well as a concealer. So when I do have something to cover up, put this foundation all over my face, and then wherever I need extra coverage, I'll just put it on my finger, and then I just apply it where I need it, the extra coverage. And it does the trick. So this way, I love this way because this way you don't get really cakey. And there's a lot of concealers out there that are super thick and make you cakey. So I do it this way, and then with my foundation brush, I just pat it in there. I pat the foundation into my skin. Also, don't forget to do blend the foundation into your neck as well, and I just do this after so that I don't, if I dot it all over the place, then it'll dry down there in those little spots. So I just do this after, and then I just blend it into my neck area so that it just blends really nicely. And you can see how full coverage this foundation is, at least for me. And it just looks really, really nice. It covers up my redness, it evens out my skin tone. It also covers up my blemishes, so I don't need to use concealer. And the less product, the better, because you don't want to look like a cakey mess, especially in this heat. You can stop here, but I like to have an under eye concealer just for brightness. So I just add this concealer. It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eye Treatment Concealer, and I add this on below my eyes, and it's in this shade Fair. This shade is more of like a pinky undertone, and then the shade Light is exactly like this one, I feel like, but it's like a yellow undertone. If that little technicality bugs you, then I would go for a Light for the yellow undertone and then Fair for the pink undertone. I apply it underneath my eyes. And then I bring it upward just to really lift. And then a little bit down the center of my nose. And then I do this like cool little design on my forehead. And then on my chin. And right there. I usually use a damp beauty blender, or the Real Techniques beauty blender. And then I just pat it. But since I'm doing a review on these brushes, I'll use one of the mini kabukis for this. And I'm gonna use flat top because I like the rounded mini kabukis for my eyes. And I don't think it's for that, but it's just so super dense, fits the product really well, and really just packs color in there and blends it. But I'm gonna use the flat one for my concealer, to blend out my concealer. I feel like, I'm gonna just bring it down here. So I feel like this brush is doing a really good job. As you can see, it totally blended it away. I honestly prefer using a beauty blender, but this brush is really doing the trick. Bring my concealer upwards, just blend it upwards. Get under my eye, those fine lines. This brush is taking way too long. Let's see how it does with the foundation brush. Okay, so you can use this brush, the one I was using initially, for under eye concealer, but I felt like it was taking too long. So I just got my foundation brush and then like patted it in and kind of like buffed it a little bit. You can also use this flat brush. Pat it in, and this is actually doing a really good job. I don't know if you can see it, just blending it out. That was super easy. And then I'll use this brush to do my nose. So that's my highlight. I look crazy right now. I'm gonna blend it out with my rounded kabuki brush from the Jessup set. I'm going to use this to actually put the powder underneath and set my concealer, just because this tapered brush is going to make it really easy for the powder to stick on, and the way that it's tapered will allow the powder to really get into those crevices. I use the Ben Nye Buff Luxury Powder. This is in the shade Buff. I usually use Cameo because I'm really fair skinned, but it's summer, so I darkened up a little bit. I mean, this isn't super dark, but it's darker than Cameo, and I'm using this to set wherever I added the concealer. So I just tap a little bit into the cap. I've been meaning to find a new brush for setting under my eyes because, you know, a powder brush is too fluffy. You can't really get in there. You can use an eyeshadow brush, but then it's so small, and this I feel like is going to be my new go-to brush for this because it makes it super easy. So I'm just going to make sure that my fine lines is blended out before I put powder on there. So I'm gonna blend the concealer underneath there and then go in with my powder. This brush is probably for something else, but this is what I'm gonna use it for. So I really like it for this. And then I'll just take this on the very tip and just do my nose. I use the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, and it's a long-lasting pressed powder. I've been using this forever. This is in the shade 004 Sandstorm, and it just keeps me matte all day. It's seriously a stay matte powder, and it's super light. It's not too heavy, so I love using this on top of all of my foundations. Honestly, this is my go-to powder. So then I'm just gonna use this Up and Up powder brush. It is one of my favorite powder brushes. When I'm washing my other brushes, I tend to switch back and forth with other brushes. When I'm washing them, I'll have like a backup brush. It picks up product really well, but it doesn't pick up too much product so that it's transferring so much product on my face that it makes me cakey. So I just roll it into my Stay Matte powder, shake it off a little bit, and then apply it to my face. And it's not too overbearing, so putting it over my highlight isn't gonna make me super dark, so I'm kind of careless and it goes to my powder and just apply it all over the face. That's my foundation routine for oily skin. That's all that I use for this obviously full coverage foundation routine. I'm gonna go and do the rest of my face and my lips, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with the rest of my face put on, and so that is what I use for my full face oily skin foundation combo. I've been using this forever. This is the only foundation that makes me not break out. It is my holy grail foundation. A couple times a day, I might go back in with my Stay Matte powder if I just want to be a little bit more matte and just lightly dust this over my face, and it is so wonderful. This is my holy grail powder. I will have all of my products I use down below, and then I'll also have a link where you can buy this online. You can get this at some stores, but not all, so I got my Ben Nye Luxury powder online. So I will link this down below, so just pay attention to that. For the Jessup brushes, good brushes, especially for the price. I really like the rounded Kabuki brush for foundation because you can really buff the foundation in, and it's just so beautiful. This is also a really good foundation brush, but you can't do that circling motion that I really like. You can like do this kind of motion to get it in, but I like this one. And then this is also really good for under eye concealer. It blends out like airbrush. It is really beautiful, but I prefer a beauty blender. But those are kind of pricey as well, so honestly, if you just get this set, you get the bang for your buck. So it also comes, so I use this tapered brush, I use this flat mini Kabuki, I use the rounded Kabuki and the flat brush for my face, and I really liked all four of these. This flat angled Kabuki, where you could probably use this for contouring, and then there's also a rounded one. So there's the rounded one as well. This would also be good for blush. I'm actually curious now. I think I'm gonna use it right now. Wow. I actually really like it. It fits really nice into my contour. I don't know what it is with me. I don't like the flat ones. They're really dense, so if you, honestly, these will be really nice. I just don't want to use it for my contour because this one is smaller and it fits better in my contour. And there's also a flat angled mini Kabuki brush in this set. And there's also a rounded one. So honestly, this would really be good for contouring as well, for if you want a really defined line. For a cream contour, this would be really good. So getting a darker foundation and then just kind of putting it into your brush and then popping into your contour and then maybe blending it out with one of these would be really nice. So there's also this brush, and it's just like this one, but the mini version. And I want to say use this for like concealer or something, but honestly what I'm going to use this for is for cut crease looks. This is really similar to the Real Techniques Diffused Crease Brush, and I love this brush for eyeshadow. I use it for this look actually today for the purple. As you can see, there's purple on the very edge of it, and I just took the purple and then I tapped it, and then I just started at the ends, and then I blended it out, and as you can see, it is super blended, it's super airbrushed, and it picks up the product really well and really blends it out. So this is gonna be one of my new favorite eyeshadow brushes. And it probably isn't even for eyeshadow, it's probably for like under eye concealer, but who cares, it works for eyeshadow brushes. So you can get this 10-piece brush set and have brushes for your face and your eyes and your contour and everything. So I say yes on the brushes, and I really hope that this foundation routine helps you achieve a matte face all day and full coverage face all day without severe cakiness. And I hope that it also doesn't make you break out, because none of these products make me break out ever, and I wear them all. Whew, see that? I really hope that you guys found my foundation routine helpful for those who have oily skin and have been trying to combat that. If you're thinking about buying these brushes, I hope that I helped you make up your mind. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I really hope this helped you. And please comment, like, subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah.